We're going to use a photograph of a man in a profile view to see how we are going to draw and paint. In this workshop, we're going to first study from each part of the whole picture with pencil, charcoal, and watercolor. Starting from the eye, the nose, the mouth, and the ear before we come to put all this together to become a whole portrait. Today I'm going to show you how to draw the nose with charcoal. The nose, we can see that as a triangle. Okay. I'm not looking at any of those small changes or small details. I just try to find the shape, the bigger shape. The bigger shape look like a triangle. If you connect with that, coming down here, it look like a triangle. Okay, so starting from this point with the curve, and that is a triangle shape. That coming here, okay, good, here, that's the line, and that is the middle over here, but the nostril start from a little bit left of the center line. Like that. And we haven't defined those small changes yet. Which is we can do that from here. And let's look at versus this curve. We're going to look at it 1, 2, it's almost 1/3. 1, starting over here, 1, 2, 3. And here is the point that actually make the curve. And coming down. We only pay attention to it after we define the big shape. Okay, this angle of the line is not quite correct, and I want to go here and make the curve right over here, this way. So I let go of the line. That was just not accurate. Now we already got pretty good progress now. And from here, if I extend this line forward, they actually meet the turning right under the nose, the turning point. So you can double check with that. And also when you see this and the turning over here into toward the mouth, and actually is right in the center between this point and this point. Okay, that's good. So let's take a look at where is this area. This area, I think, is around here. And you can see it's about 2.5. From here, from this turning to here, you can cut it in 2.5, and that is, this is the proportion. I think could be a little higher too. Okay, right here. And just a little fold. There's a very soft line over here. Now let's see. I'm going to use my finger to softly blend this wine charcoal powder like that. And next, I'm going to use the charcoal pencil, start redefine. I can let go of this dot now. Good. Now I'm going to start with the hard charcoal pencil. Okay, now I'm going to looking into those small area, draw the line, define the angle. Okay, now I'm going to coming over here, pay attention to the photo reference and look at it, and now is the time for us to define the contour, making sure it's correct. I'm going to draw a little bit at a time, but I'm looking at the reference and then come back to my paper and then continue drawing. Keep going, good. And now going down. But we're not going to draw them out in this lesson. Okay, now I'll come back over here and about, that's good. Make a little curve. Yeah, it's not a straight, a little curve coming over here. When I draw the line, I can just hold the charcoal this way. Okay. The next step, what I'm going to do after I define the outline, I want to define the value. Let's take a look. I can actually focus on the value when I'm thinking about the value with the dark color and light colors. Actually, I can draw this area and I can see this area is darker compared to the upper areas of the nose. I've applied some of the dark color. It's not very dark, but I'm making sure this value is compared with this value, which is the light value, and it is dark enough. Okay. So now I'm going to use just my finger as my blending tool, and I'm going to move it up, connect with the area. Now the nose pop a little more because it's in the correct light and dark relationship. And this coming into this smaller area, and actually can be a little bit darker, like that. And now come up here. I think this has areas that also in a similar value. I'm gonna blend that in, and I'll take care of the transition too. And this area is the lightest within this whole triangle. This is how we step by step to define the outline, and then the value divided into bigger area and then smaller and smaller area. This is to have a little transition from dark to a little lighter coming out here. Good. Like that. So our attention is always from big to small. Now, what I'm going to do, the next step, I want to define the backlight on the right off the edge. What I'm going to do, I am prepare my little eraser. Okay, just making sure it is thin enough. So I'm going to start lifting off some value to create the illusion of the backlight. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to come back here, the reshape. I'm going to use my blending stump, reshape the edge. This, the white shape here, a little bit thinner. That's a little bit too much. Make that a little lighter. And actually, the light value actually here connecting, very soft connecting into this shape. Okay, let me use my finger to blend that together. Also work on it a little more to define the light from the back. Now come to the part that is in the background. The background in the picture is actually much darker on the other side. And also we need to also soften the outline. The outline should belong to the outside, not belong to the nose. And come back to use the medium, the hard charcoal pencil. Looking at the light shape. This area is darker than this area. So I'm going to come back again. Soften it. Make it a little bit lighter. Now I'm going to look into outside in the background. By making the outside darker, it also helps to make this backlight a small light shape to stand out. And when we do the whole portrait, and it would make the whole face stand out by making the background in a different value. Now I'm using my finger just to blend it in and remove some of the some of the texture. Too much dry texture and outside or affecting the attention that pay to the inside the portrait to the nose. Now we take care of the relationship between the main objects and the supporting objects. The supporting is the background. The main, it is the portrait. And we can suggesting something going on in the background that make something uneven. Now come back here, also soften a little bit under this nose, a little soften here. I want to actually that light shape actually connecting into outside of this. So what I'm going to do, first break the shape here, and this should be move it a little out. And first I'm using my hard charcoal pencil. Like this. And that. And then I rebuild the shape. That's a little bit too dark. I'm going to soften this. Do a little cleanup. Good. And also here, also a little bit lighter. So softly blend in into this area. Let's see. Let the light wrapping around. Like that. That's, I'm going to come back here to reshape this value. And come here to this a little sharper. This actually sharper transitions. Then here a little softer, and here a little bit softer compared to that area. And this area could be a little lighter and connect into this light shape. Now the nose is completed with charcoal pencil. This is a part of the whole workshop of how to do a watercolor painting of a profile portrait. For our patron, you can view the entire workshop in the patron area. You can upload your own images, getting feedback or give feedback to other patrons, and I'm also going to answer any questions that you have inside the patron. See you there.